Organized by the AI summit from the Indian government. There were about 200,000 people for a 5-day event. The entire US delegation, excuse me sir, give me a minute. So the Indian government ran the summit for 5 days. President Modi inaugurated, the ministry was there, and there were about 300 companies from US participated in the AI summit. The US delegation and the US chambers of commerce went to India, and about 300 organizations and about 800 companies globally participated in that. NVIDIA was the prime hot sponsor for the entire event. Azure, Microsoft, AWS, everybody came. And the prime AI summit, the model was to show how mature Indian government is in terms of AI. There was a AI LLM hackathon also at that place. There were more than 10,000 LLM models in that hackathon for each vertical, and about 800 LLM models were sold. And I went with the US delegation and US chambers of commerce. And I was also a part of Sergio Gor's US ambassador team to India. So we were hosted in Delhi. So I was part of the delegation. And it was fantastic to see so many companies there. And there were a lot of MoUs. So the company that I represent, we did an MoU with NVIDIA and AMD and Intel. And with that MoUs, NVIDIA, we signed up for an incentive program. They gave us a grant of 300K. By now you should all know what NVIDIA is, right? Yep. NVIDIA is on top of the layer to do AI infrastructure. So their hardware H100 is pretty much on all the Azure, AWS and everybody. Intel has their own separate data center. So NVIDIA was on the prominent stage, and I was also part of the Purple team, where on Thursday, on one of the day when Modi was speaking, Sundar Pichai, Sam Altman from OpenAI, they were all speaking. I was there in that main hall, in the 10th row. And it was fantastic to see how AI has changed the Indian mindset. But the fantastic thing was 10,000 LLM models were displayed by Sarvam AI, OpenAI and so many AI companies, and out of which 800 LLM models were sold. The company that I represent offline, we brought 12 LLM models which will go to the market very soon. So we brought 12 LLM models from some IIT students, and we made them as shareholders in the company. And these LLM models will go into the market, and we gave them a 51% stake because they own the models and we own 49%. So the amount, you should go and see how these companies have done the AI summit. It was just fantastic. The whole globe was surprised that the hackathon was so big. 10,000 LLM models, 9,000 students participated in it, 800 LLM models, so I know the numbers, 800 LLM models were sold, 100 LLM models were bought by OpenAI. Wow. They spent $72 million buying those LLM models from the students. That was the amount of transactions that happened. So it is just amazing. The whole world was surprised. I even went on TV5, NTV, NTT TV to tell why this conference. Now, not only that, on the first floor, Telangana government, AP, Karnataka, Kerala, Punjab, West Bengal, they all had their AI as a part of the government. DRDO, Navy, everybody was investing in AI. So first floor was all traditional companies like Microsoft, NVIDIA and all. Second floor was all government related, where ministers, cabinet ministers, IAS, IPS, all of them came and they were showcasing. So you should imagine Modi was only on the second floor, not on the ground floor, because he didn't want to endorse these big companies. So we walked with Sergio Gor, Modi and all in the second floor. But surprisingly, Kerala, Punjab, Gujarat, they are way ahead in the AI game compared to Karnataka, Telangana and AP, which was more surprising. That so much of investment. So imagine if you want to look for
West Bengal?
West Bengal was in the far end. I mean, it was nice, but I'm telling you, if you are looking for an AI data center setup or AI readiness, don't look for Telangana or Andhra Pradesh. They are on par, but Punjab, Uttarakhand, they are opened up grants for AI companies to invest. So if you are looking for any of those contacts with the state officials in those states, I have all the contacts. We made some good relationship with them. So think big. If you want to be an NVIDIA partner or AMD or Intel with a company that you own, I can help in setting it up. Because while we are venturing and growing the company, it will definitely help you with the information that I have. I have hundreds of visiting cards from these companies that are willing to do MoU with companies that are based out of US. They are looking for an office in US. So any company that you might like, you might introduce them to the US market, they are willing to spend. And we have access to those 800 LLM models that might be useful to you, which are like a turnkey available that we don't need to reinvent the wheel. These LLM models in fact crashed all the traditional data centers in India because each AI data center requires 40 megawatts. The traditional data centers will not help. So these 40 megawatt centers went down because these kids were doing hackathon and those 40 megawatts was approved by Modi to run the hackathon. So that was the magnitude of the event. So that was a fantastic event for us to be in Delhi. And Sergio Gor put a mission for Sundar Pichai and everybody that, hey, India AI is more mature than the global market. That's the reason all these big Fortune 500 companies like Schneider Electric, AWS, everybody came to India on behalf of the US Chamber of Commerce. So that is how India was fantastically recognized for this AI conference. So that was my 2 cents of my participation. I thought I'll give you live updates of what happened on the ground.